Baseball Wednesday on the campus of Daytona State College. Welcome to the baseball complex, and we have got a great matchup for you here this afternoon. Central Florida College, the Patriots, are here on the East Coast to take on the Falcons out of Daytona State College. Should be a great afternoon of baseball. We're thrilled you're here. Drew Felios alongside Ted Sofianos. Right now, two teams going in sort of different directions, but Daytona State looking to finish the season strong, Ted.
Yeah, you said it best. They're going in different directions, but that doesn't mean that Daytona State can't come back. You mentioned it was a gorgeous day out there in that complex, as the fans will see in just a little bit. We just had a front move through, and right now we're looking at beautiful baseball weather.
All right, the Patriots of College of Central Florida. What a lineup this team sports. Go through their lineup 1 to 9. James Nix will be the leadoff, followed by Presno Vincent, Machibroda in the cleanup spot, Colangelo Salaveria, Zach West the shortstop, Andre James at second, and John Fiorenza the catcher. Brendan Kulinski will be on the mound today for the College of Central Florida. Meanwhile, for Daytona State, the defense will have to keep that offensive production down from the Patriots. As you look at the outfield, let's go left to right. Schumacher, Taylor, and Rodriguez in right. The third baseman is new. Brandon Stone recently inserted into that starting lineup. Jack Nagy, who usually plays third, now at short for Daytona State. Chandler Pethel at second. Parkhurst, the first baseman. Dawson Posick behind the plate. And Mason Sharp, a big task he has. 5.29 ERA. He gets the ball today to take on the College of Central Florida. Patriots are coached by Marty Smith. He's one of the best in the business. Quarter century he has spent sending players to big-time D1 baseball, even the major leagues. He runs quite a program. And on the other side, Tim Tuma needs no introduction for Daytona State. Former University of Florida assistant coach and player as well. Has done great things here at Daytona State.
How about the matchup between these two titans, Drew? I love your pronunciation of some of these names. I find them a little bit more difficult, but great job, Drew.
Tim Tuma said that, hey, even though have not been on the winning side of things as of late, can easily turn things around. Daytona State dropping 8 of their past 9 ball games. Now, remember the last game we did at the beginning of March, things were running a lot smoother, but they just sort of hit a wall. Offenses sort of dug themselves a hole throughout the course of games. Pitching has not been quite as sharp. Ted, they are hoping today things change.
Yeah, when you take a look at the Daytona State, the whole pen, the pitching pen, and only a couple of guys right now with 3.5 or there around ERA, and the rest of them over that, that's a pretty difficult way to win.
So Mason Sharp, the lefty for Daytona State. First pitch is lined into center field for a base hit. James Nix is aboard for the College of Central Florida, and there's just a sample of the offensive firepower. They're swinging first pitch.
Whoa, one pitch, one man on base. And as I look at the stats, Drew, as this matches up, they can produce a heck of a lot of runs, these Patriots, for Central Florida.
Now it's Ricky Presno's turn. The third baseman, take one a little bit low and outside. Presno is a sophomore out of Pembroke Pines, Florida. Flanagan High School represented. Lefty on lefty here, matchup favor to Daytona State. But quickly, you see Mason Sharp down here 2-0. Very active dugout here for College of Central Florida. This has developed into a nice rivalry over the years. It's going to be bounced over to Parkhurst. He gets the forced out at second, throws over to first. And Daytona State, with the early defense, able to get the forced at second base. Safe, however, at first, and there's one away.
But I like the way they communicated right there. They did a great job. Just didn't catch him. He was a speedy runner, but really nicely done by Daytona State to pick off that lead runner.
That brings up Colton Vincent now.
Tough percentage execution there for the double play, but again, good job turning it over.
Curveball. And that one just outside the zone for Sharp. 1 ball, no strikes. Perfect day for baseball. Perfect day to come out here to the yard at Daytona State College. Free hot dogs, the promotion. here today. Students coming out to the park. That ball gets through to left field, and now runners on first and second base for College of Central Florida. And one thing we know, Ted, when the play is there for Daytona State, you got to make the play. You can't give this Patriots team second and third chances because they're going to make you pay.
Yeah, he's going to be charged probably an error there. Sharply hit ball, though, somewhat difficult, but should have been fielded. Look at the immaculate conditions of that field, Drew. Hats off to the grounds crew taking care of that field. Looks beautiful out there.
Nolan Machabrota now for College of Central Florida. And look at this kid. He is big. He is impressive. Got a tremendous swing hitting in that cleanup spot for the Patriots.
Runners first and second.
6'4", 215 pounds. He packs a wallop out of Saskatchewan. And he gets a piece of one this time, right to the second baseman. And this one's going to get through to right field. A run is going to score for the Patriots. And now first and third with only one out. College of Central Florida strikes first.
Yeah, that'll be 2 quick errors. Charge of DSC with Machabrota. I mean, like you said, he is ominous. Slugging percentage of .602. Average .346, which isn't overwhelming, but you look at his on-base percentage, almost 50%. And he showed why those percentages are up right there and then.
So Vincent on third base now as Miles Colangelo steps up for the Patriots. He takes one in there for a strike.
Oh, that was a beauty. Nice breaking ball that he threw there.
Colangelo, the designated hitter today. And he'll take a big swing. This is going to be popped up, playable for Daytona State if they can get over to it. And does it drop in right field? Yes, it does. And another run on the board for the Patriots. That one was popped up. The wind kind of played with it a little bit, and yeah, Ted, it just found a sweet spot right there in the outfield.
That was just a little bit of unluckiness there for DSC. Obviously, that could have easily drifted out of foul play. Looked like the right fielder had a beat on that, but unfortunately for Daytona State, runners on the corners, 2 down.
Carlos Salaveria now the hitter. So 3 straight hitters have reached base for the Patriots.
I love the rolling of the R's there. I can't do it. I'm impressed, Drew. Salaveria, oh, love it.
Carlos out of Weston, Florida, Cypress Bay High School. All these players, you know, is coming from really good baseball high schools. Carlos, a freshman, 5'11", and today he'll be in center field for the Patriots. Good start for the College of Central Florida. Already a 2-0 cushion as they're working against Mason Sharp. Sharp throws to second base, so very close, as Machabrota was able to get back just in time.
That was a tough angle for the ump there to see. Here's the replay. Caught him leaning.
Oof. Extremely close.
Extremely close. Might have gotten that left hand in there just before.
These two teams were supposed to play Monday, a couple days ago. That game, though, postponed due to weather, and it's been rescheduled for this Sunday at 1 p.m. at the College of Central Florida. Big swing there. And now, still 2 strikes on the batter, Carlos Salaveria.
You know, it's not obviously too early to talk about some of the accolades for Tim Tuma. I mean, certainly he's had a tough season, but you talk about scholar athletes, he hasn't had a difficult season that way. Again, National Academic Baseball Team of the Year, 12 years in a row. Drew, we could go on and on.
Salaveria, big swing there, and he is down on strikes. So 2 down, and I think that's a big out for Daytona State. Now they can focus on the shortstop, Zach West, hitting here in the 7-hole. West takes one high and inside.
But that is a lot of batters to face already in the first inning. Pitch count up there already.
Mason Sharp trying to get off to a good start. Low and away this time. Now the pitching staff for Daytona State this year has really been carried by Zach Henderson. Just doing tremendous work, the ace of the staff. Coach Tuma could not be more pleased with his production. But he says that he just needs a little help. Need to have more balance throughout my pitching staff because Zach just cannot do it all.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up. He's one of those who has an ERA that's close to 4, but you look at the other side with the Patriots, you've got 3 or 4 pitchers that are under 2 ERA. Yikes. That's a formidable pen.
Two balls, 2 strikes now. Runners on first and second base. A big out here. Daytona State trying to get back to the dugout. After Mason Sharp, man, the defense surrendered 2 in this first inning. This is going to be popped up, a tough ball to play. It's going to drop in center field. Another base hit for the Patriots. A run is in. And now first and third. And the Patriots' 2-out rally continues here as Machabrota scores, and this is just a tough offensive machine to put away, Ted.
Yikes, this is no way you want to start your game at home. That was right off the neck of the bat. That might have been a gapper had he got a lot of wood on it, or aluminum. We're in college ball, obviously. It was going in the right place no matter what. Off the neck of the bat or off the meat of the bat, either way, that was going to be driven in a gap.
So if you're Daytona State right now, you want to be patient with your pitcher Mason Sharp. Of course, he's not really having a hard time locating. They're just getting some good swings on him right now, and a couple unlucky breaks. That last ball, sort of a little pop up there right into shallow center field, and then shallow right field on that last one.
There you would have seen in that last frame, we had Dr. Tom Labasso, president of Daytona State, right there in the blue tie behind the mound to the left, checking out the baseball crew.
Always a fixture at Daytona State athletic events, so involved in everything going on here on campus.
I mean, I don't know how he does it. And the athletic director, he was talking to him, Will Dunn. I mean, just so many hours and hours, after work for various games, Saturdays, Sundays, you name it, on the road.
Andre James now the hitter. Ball gets by, and here comes run number 4 of this rocky first inning for the Falcons.
You know, I was looking at the paperwork, the stats, Drew, before I, showed up today to see you. Here's that passed ball again. And as I started to look at the stats, I was like, my goodness. You had mentioned before they're going in 2 different directions, but also I looked at those bullpens, and the stats really, they jumped out at me.
Andre James puts it in play. This is hit to the shortstop. Coming up to take care of it is Jack Nagy. And Daytona State finally out of the inning. But 4 runs on the board for College of Central Florida. Now let's see what the Falcons can do to answer. Just underway here in Daytona Beach. 4-0 your score. Welcome back here to the baseball complex at Daytona State College. Falcons now coming up to bat. Trent Taylor, the leadoff batter, facing Brendan Kudlinski for College of Central Florida. Falcons surrendering 4 runs in the top half of the first, and now a chance here to just get on the board, make some noise with the bats, and build some confidence after this juggernaut of the Patriots.
Oh, yeah.
Their offense coming in here to your place, Ted.
Yeah, they just got yelled at. They're going to have to yell back. I mean, they're going to have some dialogue here. You can't just have a one-team show. Oh, and he's calling a strike on that one. Did not bring the back in time.
So now Taylor, big swing and a miss there for the strike. 2 balls, 2 strikes the count.
Kudlinski not seeing as much playing time as some of the others on the pitching staff. Certainly, though, going to get some pitches here, and he's looking pretty good thus far.
Yeah, Trent Taylor, also for Daytona State, probably the best all-around athlete in the lineup for the Falcons. Committed to UCF. Plays center field, also some second base as well. Can't catch up to that fastball, though, and he is down. Striking out swinging, so 1 away for Brendan Kudlinski of the Patriots.
Drew, I know you're a man of many talents, and I'm sure you've been following March Madness. It was really tough to watch UCF. They are a local team here. Actually, Daytona State feeds a lot of their the ones who transfer into UCF. And what a game that was that they just missed beating. I believe it was Duke.
Yeah, best probably game that has gone on in March Madness, and there have been some good ones. Jack Nagy now swinging it for the Falcons. Oh, you see the fastball coming in, just pounding the mitt. And quickly down 0-2.
Oh, that was a heater. That looked a bit nasty. I'd be a bit scared if I was batting at this point with that coming at me.
Nagy misses high and outside. Rather, Kudlinski misses high and outside. Nagy, meanwhile, committed to FIT. So another commit for Daytona State. There's Jack. Playing back at shortstop here today. He'll chop this one to the pitcher. Kudlinski has a hard time playing it over to first, and the ball is overthrown. So Nagy, the spark plug for the Falcons, gets to second base, and this is the guy that always hustles for Daytona State, and no surprise he's able to make a play there.
What you just said about Nagy, right, certainly can never be argued, but watch this. I don't know how. That wasn't even close for the lefty. Kudlinski, what happened to you? I mean, I'd have to be on top of 3 other folks. I'd be on a high wire rack to catch that ball. The Walinda group couldn't have caught that. Sorry, guys, for the Walinda reference. My goodness.
Justin Rodriguez now stepping up for Daytona State. It happens, Ted.
Yikes.
Ball just got away from him that time. May have slipped out of the hand and wound up in right field.
Oh, it happens, of course. We see the pros do it all the time.
Here's Rodriguez. I would love to see this guy, Rodriguez, have a big day at the plate. Had a chance to call several Daytona State games over the last few years, and Justin Rodriguez have not seen his best just yet, but he is quite a performer.
Yeah, and some size, some good stats. I like his manner at the plate, the way he stands. Bit of an inside pitch to swing at. But I see some special in his horizon. I see something special for that man.
Still very raw, 346 average. 2-1 the count. Rodriguez swinging a miss, 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Well, that's twice with that inside pitch. From Farmingdale, New York. That's where my mother went to college. It used to be an agricultural community college back in the day. Up there in Long Island, New York. I'd rather be down here, Drew, with you, this sunny day here in Florida.
Oh, 3 straight swings. Rodriguez can't make contact, and he is the second strikeout victim of Brendan Kudlinski. There's 2 down here in the bottom of the first.
I think, psychologically speaking, Drew, if you pick one up, here at least before the 3 outs, you're feeling a little bit better. If you get nothing right now, 2 outs, man on second, if you can bring that man home, that's going to pump you up a little bit.
KG Parkhurst now, cleanup batter for Daytona State.
Kudlinski burning the inside of the corner of that plate.
Takes one a little bit high. And back safely to second, Jack Nagy. Shortstop in scoring position for Daytona State. Perfect day for baseball. Look at this weather. Great complex. Dr. Tom Labasso on hand, Ted Sofianos on hand, our great television crew doing great work in the field, arriving early this morning, getting everything set up for this great afternoon of baseball. It is a great day here in Daytona.
I don't know if the fans, got a chance to see the setup. They eventually will come back on, but I tell you, just even the setup that we have here, Drew, I mean, this is, bar none, right up there with the ESPN guys, right?
Absolutely, even better. Parkhurst swinging, and he is the third strikeout victim for Daytona State. So 3 strikeouts. Brendan Kudlinski is bringing it for College of Central Florida. The lefty on a mission. His team up 4-0 as we head to the second. Today's game is being brought to you in part by Financial Educators Federal Credit Union, the official credit union of Daytona State College. That's Financial Educators Federal Credit Union. 1 inning is in the books here at the gorgeous baseball complex at Daytona State. Drew Felios with Ted Sofianos. 4-0 is the score. Patriots right now top of the standings in Region 8. In the NJCAA, 32-6 record on the season. That is very, very impressive. Seminole State right behind them. Daytona State right now, 6th place out of 7 teams. So trying to climb their way up. Mason Sharp on the hill trying to help them as John Fiorenza, the 9-hole hitter for the Patriots, steps in and he takes one outside.
I mean, you think about percentage winning record, you usually think about maybe, 700, 650, that's extremely high. 842, 32-6 that you just mentioned, that's incredible. As we look at the top of the second here, Drew, I got to say, Kudlinski, he looked tough on the mound. Excellent lefty, bringing the heat past those Daytona Staters. Was able to get Nagy on base, but that's where he was held.
2 balls, 2 strikes now. Mason Sharp working on the mound for Daytona State. You look at Mason Sharp and his delivery, Ted. He's not a very overpowering pitcher. What he wants to do, try and locate, keep it outside, keep it low, work that inside part of the plate as well. Coach Tim Tuma told me he's not going to overpower a lot of guys in this Patriots lineup.
Yeah, he's basically picks his points, likes to paint the outside line of the strike area. Doesn't have that 90 mile an hour, 88 mile an hour fastball as of yet. Can always change. These are still young in their careers.
Fiorenza gets a piece of one. This headed to center, and it could drop again. No, it won't this time. As Trent Taylor with the speed running on to make the catch. That's a good start for Daytona State here in the second. There's one away.
Yeah, he got a hop on that one. Good job. Recognized the depth of that ball. It did come off the neck just slightly, but he fielded it well. Good job, Trent Taylor.
So Mason Sharp will now work against the top of the order. James Nix stepping in for College of Central Florida.
Yeah, if I'm the Daytona State pitching coach, I'm going to start looking at the pitch count at this point. Had kind of a rough first inning. Beautiful, like you said before, he really picked that corner at right there. Beautiful pitch. Best Nix could have done with it was opposite field. He laid off of it.
Nix had a base hit his last time up, swinging at the first pitch, putting it into center field. This is a big curveball, and it just misses for Mason Sharp.
That was a tough pitch to lay off of. Great curve. A lot of stuff, a lot of action on that ball.
This one going to be found back. Mentioned Mason and his ERA just above 500, or 5 for, I should say, for Daytona State. Out of Palatka. Lefty throwing today. Coach Tuma wants to get about 4 to 5 innings out of him if he can. He's going to have to pick things up here in the second and have a couple shutout innings for the Falcons. And one thing about him, got to respect Mason Sharp. Walked onto this program, earned himself a scholarship, has earned the respect of the Daytona State coaching staff.
Yeah, walk-on scholarship athletes are few and far between. I don't care what program you go to. So Tim Tuma recognizing, obviously, the right stuff in him, both as not only a pitcher but as a scholar athlete. Adding to that GPA, which is one of the best in the country.
So Trent Taylor aboard with the walk. Second time on base today. Rather, James Nix on board. Tries to take second base, throw down there, and he's going to be safe. So Nix, with the speed, able to beat out the throw.
Nicely done. I was recognizing the GPA for collectively for Daytona State Falcons. 29 consecutive semesters drew with 3.0 or higher team GPA. That's amazing.
Ricky Presno now hitting from the left side. And this ball is going to be hit to the second baseman, and it's through. Got past him into right field. Nix thought about digging for home. Now he'll decide to do just that, play at the plate, and there isn't one. So aggressive base running by James Nix and a base hit by Ricky Presno makes it 5-0.
Yeah, it looks like the ball came off a little sideways from Justin Rodriguez.
The batter, number 39.
And yeah, flails a little bit. And Nix made a good job in running that down, recognizing the error.
Now it's Colton Vincent. So far, it's been all College of Central Florida Patriots. A 5 spot on the board And they're threatening once again with runners on first and third.
Yeah, you don't find too many holes in this team. And then you start looking at, even their conference play. Oh, it's 11-5. Oops. And that's still darn good. You just mentioned 32-6. So the conference play here, obviously a little bit more difficult for to be an 11-5. But they're looking certainly for a playoff berth, without a doubt.
Daytona State right now, as we mentioned, 6th place in Region 8, on top of the Florida State College of Jacksonville right now in last place, and just behind Santa Fe College with their 6 and 7 conference mark. Vincent fouls this one away. It'll be 2 and 2. Colton Vincent had a base hit into left field his last time up. Getting some pretty good looks right now against Mason Sharp. Good opportunity, though, here to sit him down. Curveball in there for a strike. Nicely done by Mason Sharp. And there's 2 away. That pitch had tons of bite on it.
Beautiful. Beautiful dipping curveball. Here it is again from the lefty's hand.
The batter, number 20, Nolan.
Oh, mean spinner. Yeah, I would have just put my head down, walked off into the dugout.
I said Mason Sharp doesn't have overpowering stuff, but Daytona State, Coach Tuma hoping that the hitters of College of Central Florida a little bit antsy today, maybe trying to all hit home runs as they're known for doing. And overswing just a bit. That hasn't really happened just yet. But there's still time for Mason Sharp to get the better of this lineup. Machabrota now in the cleanup role.
And, you talk about each batter now looking at Nolan at the plate here, facing Sharp. Every single batter for Central Florida, the lowest, a .315 batting average. The lowest. I mean, very few teams could brag that are in the Region 8 standings right now. Very few teams. And that is one reason why the College of Central Florida, paired with their pitching, is on top with such an amazing record.
2 balls, 1 strike to Machabrota. Watches one outside. And when you talk about just power alone, this College of Central Florida lineup last season hit 94 home runs as a team. That's a team record for the Patriots. They've had some great lineups in the past as well, but just gives you an idea of how these young men can swing the bat.
They actually shattered their record. Their old record was in the mid-50s. Couldn't believe it. I mean, they almost doubled it. So, whoa, you talk about the firepower for Marty Smith. My goodness. That's all, you got to give credit also to recruitment there, too. The whole staff. Obviously got a great crew of players. Excellent pitching.
3-2 now. Machabrota puts it in play. This is playable to second. Pethel comes up throwing for Daytona State, and that takes care of the threat. But Falcons do surrender a run. It's 5-0. Daytona State. Can they get their offense going? Defense responds with Pethel. Nice little movement over to the right side to get them in time. Through 1.5 here in Daytona. Welcome back to Daytona State College. Bottom of the second inning. Falcons trying to get the bats rolling. Bobby Sparling in the 5-hole for Daytona State leads it off.
How about that for a first pitch? No fear. Here it is, right down the pipe. Do what you want, but I'm throwing you the heat. Go ahead and answer. Good cut of the bat there, but couldn't catch up to that pitch.
Bobby Sparling, part of a legacy for Daytona State. His older brother Matt pitched for Tim Tooman not long ago. Matt is now at FAU. Sparling also a guy who's sometimes counted on to take the hill, show his pitching prowess as well, but right now he's got to get things rolling with the bat for Daytona State.
Yeah, definitely a really talented two-way player, Sparling is.
Sparling pops it up. This is playable, and catch made over there by Machabroda for out number 1.
Daytona State going to have to wake up those bats right now to answer at this 5-0 deficit. It's always hard when you have a first inning like that. But think of it this way also, you know, you just kind of flip the coin. You got 7 more innings to come back. So
Brandon Stone watches one outside. Stone playing third base today for Daytona State. He's the guy we told you about who was recently inserted into the starting lineup. Coach too mad to shuffle his infield just a little bit. Chad Pike now coming off the bench. Jordan Barnett also. Barnett was the shortstop. Pike was at second, so that infield being shuffled a little bit by the Falcons throughout the course of the year. And it's now 2 balls and 1 strike. So Brendan Kudlinski saw Jack Nagy get on base in the last inning. Kudlinski did not even flinch. And now this one in the dirt. 3 balls, 1 strike. If you're Daytona State right now, you just need base runners.
That's right. And this is your best chance so far. This is the worst the pitch count has been for Kudlinski since he started. You know, certainly 2 things that impressed me a lot. He's got a lot of control, you know, save for that just that last pitch, but a lot of power as well.
Stone watches one high, and he is aboard for Daytona State. So a great at-bat for Brendan Stone.
Yeah, only 1 out. So that'll kind of rile up your bench and your bats for Daytona State. Kudlinski is now going to have to deal with a distraction on first base that he produced.
That'll bring Chandler Pethel to the plate. Pethel, sophomore from Colbert, Georgia. Oh, it looked like that one was headed right towards him. So contact that time. And let's see, turn 1, turn 2. Looked like the ball was possibly fouled off him that time, but instead we play it, and Daytona State out of the inning just like that. Let's take one more look. That looked like the ball struck him that time. It did not look like it was put in play, and I'm surprised that the umpire did not come in and blow that one dead.
Yeah, it's because the ball hit the bat first. That's where you heard the aluminum, and then it hit the batter. That was just bad luck for Daytona State, Drew.
So 2 innings in the books. 5-0 is the score. College of Central Florida on top of Daytona State. And among all the great things here at Daytona State College, the beverage program. New, and it is simply awesome. Take a look.
Daytona State's newest certificate program in hospitality beverage science combines theory and practical hands-on instruction on a range of beverage production processes like craft brewing and wines. Learn how to pair wines and beer with appropriate food choices, produce various styles of beers and wines, as well as how to manage, merchandise, and market beverages. Call 386-506-4DSC or visit us online at daytonastate.edu.
So beverage science, another reason to come to Daytona State College for a unique education experience unlike anywhere else. Drew Felios, Ted Sofianos watching Mason Sharp work on the mound today for the Falcons. And Ted, you know you're on the faculty here at Daytona State. What a special educational institution this is.
Yeah, actually we were celebrating the opening of the 84,000 square foot student center in honor of a longtime benefactor and former trustee here at the college, L. Gail Lemerand. The building named in honorary of that man who has made such great donations to the college, both in time and with money.
Justin Rodriguez makes the first play in right for Daytona State.
The next batter, number 4, Carlos Salaveria.
I had a student of mine ask me the other day if I knew when a hole would open up in the beverage science program, because it's so heavily subscribed to, Drew. So obviously they've got a full house right now, and it's going to gangbusters. So good for them. So whoever had the brainchild of Beverage Science Academy here at Daytona State did the right thing.
Carlos Salaveria, with all the things that are going on in today's world and all the things I've learned being out in the real world in the past couple decades, as that ball looked like a strike that time, 2 balls and 1 strike is the count. Let's see Mason Sharp, see if he can get this batter out. Instead, a little bit low, 3-1. What I was saying, as a college, you have to be consistently evolving with the times, because times are always changing. Technology is changing, and that is what I think distinguishes great colleges, the ones that are looking towards the future from the ones that are always talking about the past. As this ball is hit to Brandon Stone. Great play on the hot corner, and he makes the play. Quick 2 outs. Great job by the defense of Daytona State.
Oh, good job there. And you said it, evolving. Really, even some of the jobs that you're trying to prepare your students for at any college or university might not be in existence in 5 to 10 years. So in essence, what you really have to teach the students is how to critically think. Mm-hmm. And if you can give them the mechanics, the tools to go out into the real world and critically think, then you've really turned out a good product that's going to add to the community.
Tough play here as Mason Sharp goes over and covers the bag. Continue,
wow.
Ted.
No, I was going to say, just be successful out there in the real world, which what you were saying.
5-0 to score. Defense has its way for Daytona State. Now the offense hoping to get going when we return to Daytona State College.
And we're off, Drew.
Bottom of the 3rd inning at Daytona State College. Drew Felios with Ted Sofianos. Brandon Kudlinski pitching a shutout so far for the Patriots of College of Central Florida through 2 innings. Daytona State looking to get their bats rolling.
Yeah, Kudlinski only showing just, one moment of kryptonite there when he was 3-1 with the count and walked him. That's the only thing that he's done wrong thus far. He's looking stellar out there on the mound today.
Lawson Schumacher also goes by the nickname Larry. He is in the box right now for Daytona State, playing left field today. There's Larry. One of the big surprises for Daytona State this year. Had a big 3-run bomb at the beginning of March. Would love to say that about the month of April as well. Not this time, though, as Kudlinski takes a little bit off that pitch, and there's one away.
Yeah, mixing it up there, fooling the batter. Good job, Kudlinski. I've mentioned him a number of times. And Sharp just had that rocky first inning for Daytona State as the pitcher. And really, that's been his only flaw.
Now it's bottom of the order, Dawson Posick, the catcher.
If golf holes were innings, I'd have 18 poor ones, Drew. I showed that this past Sunday.
Tough day, huh?
Oh yeah, but again, Sharp only having one bad first inning. He's rallied. Just need the bats to rally now for Daytona State Falcons.
Dawson Posick, the catcher for Daytona State, hitting below 200 on the season. Obviously counted on for defensive purposes. Two balls, 2 strikes now. Posick, swings at a fastball, and it's in the catcher's mitt for strike 3. Another strikeout for Brendan Kudlinski.
Oh, he's had several already. That was a heater. And it didn't look like Posick was behind that pitch at all. Just swung a bit under it. Oof. I had some hot sauce on it, Drew.
Trent Taylor, top of the order for the Falcons.
During the break, Drew, we were talking about how, various colleges, universities, you got to evolve. At one time, although non-for-profit organization here at WDSC TV, as we're watching on the strike, they have incorporated the Center for Interactive Media here. Mm-hmm. And so you have a number of students that they're actually interning for the studio, doing many other things as far as internships are concerned. I'm sorry, television production. Center for Television Production. I apologize.
Well, meanwhile, Trent Taylor strikes out for Daytona State. Second strikeout today for him, and Brendan Kudlinski right now just rolling on the mound for College of Central Florida. We've played 3 innings at Daytona State. Falcons looking for some offense before heading back on the field to play defense once more. To the 4th inning we go in a moment. Fourth inning. Now as College of Central Florida comes to bat. Mason Sharp still the pitcher for Daytona State. And a ball taken low. Andre James in the 8-hole. Second time around for him for the Patriots. Andre grounded out to the shortstop his last time up. He's got some speed. Hits one to around the same spot, and this one is going to find a spot in left field. And you saw it look like Brandon Stone had a shot at that one, sort of stuck his glove down, but was not able to block the ball, and the first runner aboard for the Patriots.
Yeah, that was sharply hit.
Number 3, John.
Can't tell right now if an error will be applied.
John Forenza now. Forenza watches one and a called strike. So Mason Sharp, if he can finish out this inning, I think safe to say will have done his job for Daytona State. Needs a good inning here, and then Coach Duma with the option to bring him back in the 5th. This ball is lifted into left. It's going to drift foul. But they thought that they could get about 4 to 5 innings out of Mason Sharp. Had that rocky first inning, but has settled down since.
Yeah, when he got beat up a little bit there. You got to wonder what the pitch count is right now. We'll get those stats for you.
And meanwhile, here's Fiorenza. Nice pitch that time by Mason Sharp. And Forenza down on strikes. So Mason gets a big first out for Daytona State.
Now batting, number 23.
Top of the order, though, is you got to face James Nix now. And the top of the order has just wreaked havoc today for the Patriots. This guy has been tough to deal with.
As you have Andre James, first base, trying to distract the pitcher, Sharp.
Sharp's going to go back, chase that one down. Ted, you were talking about all the opportunities here at Daytona State. That's kind of been the theme. We took a look at the beverage science school here on campus and also had a chance to talk about the broadcast television production opportunities here at Daytona State. As well as we love to remind people, this is our own. This broadcast that you're watching, this is as homemade as it gets and a great opportunity for students here on campus.
Oh, yeah. You have students who are, camera operators. They're over there in the broadcast booth. You have, other times when they might be editing, for digital media and that type of thing. I mistermed it before by calling it the Center of Interactive Media. That's a different program, but the broadcast TV production. I mean, look at the studio that we are in right now, and all the students, as well as of course that wonderful crew, helping to bring this to you live in HD TV, folks out there.
Yes, it takes quite a setup. Got to get here early in the morning, and all of our production crew just doing a stellar job. And, it's a gorgeous day today. It's not always this nice
That's right.
outside. They have to weather it through all kinds of conditions. Cannot thank them enough for the job that they have done this season as we have enjoyed every single moment with them.
Good job to you, crew. Well done, as we caught a few waves out there from the crew. And those were students who are working in this program and certainly will learn this craft and be going on to bigger and better things. And who knows, some of them we get to hang on to because they're so darn good and they want to stay here at Daytona State, and sometimes the television, our WDSC folks might see merit in hiring them.
Now, talking about opportunities, though, with colleges, I mean, I went to Florida State University, and back then, back in the late 90s, opportunities like this just weren't as frequent or weren't as easily accessible for students. Did have a radio station back at the university at the time that I had a chance to get involved in. This one is shot into right field for a base hit. James Nix again aboard for the third time today. Over to second base, and he's out there. So Daytona State able to get him at second, and that's a big out. There's two down.
I was wondering if he was going to round first. He got a little greedy, I think, and he paid for it. much better situation now with runner on third with 2 outs. Nice opposite field hit there. Nix did not have the wheels for that arm, which was Justin Rodriguez throwing him out with the right hand.
That is going to do it for Mason Sharp. So the freshman does his job. Former walk-on who earned his scholarship. And now Daytona State is going to look to the bullpen and see who can provide some middle relief here in the 4th inning of this game. And I believe it's going to be Zach Henderson. Talked about Henderson being the ace of this staff. The 6'5" freshman out of Trinity. It looks like he'll get a chance to pitch here. He has been the best pitcher for Daytona State this year. So let's see what young Zach can do here against this College of Central Florida vaunted lineup.
Number 1, Zach Henderson.
Yeah, Henderson here with 44 innings pitched thus far this season, a 3.86 ERA. Certainly, those are decent figures right there. He's only one of 3, though, on the pitching staff with an ERA under 4.0.
And see, he's got that sidewinder delivery. Obviously forcing ground balls.
His win-loss is 5-2 with 1 save. So he's, like you said, Drew, he's right now the best pitcher on the team. The stats show that. Let's see if he can rise to the challenge here. 2 outs, man on third. Idea, of course, is to strand third base. As he warms up here, Drew, a few plugs for the home team. Besides some of the programs that we've already mentioned, they also have a marine science environmental program. Over 27,000 students attend this particular college each and every year. And they've already awarded, since being in existence from 1957, over 100,000 degrees. That's quite a stat. Number of teams here at Daytona State also. Couple of new add-ons, the volleyball team, the soccer teams, both men and women, and the men's and women's cross-country team. Women's golf, 10th NJCAA championship in May of 2017. Strike that. They also won in 2018, so they're up to 11 titles. Amazing. Amazing golf team here.
Zach Henderson, first pitch nearly gets away. Ricky Presno, the hitter. This is the matchup that Daytona State coaches wanted. Lefty on lefty, they've got it. Ball's going to be bounced foul. So 1 ball, 1 strike. The count to Ricky Presno. Yeah, the athletics here has just exploded at Daytona State College. We have a chance to work soccer matches in the fall, year in and year out now. The men's team, the women's side as well. Contending for postseasons in such a short period of time. And there's so much talent here in the state of Florida, and with that tremendous facility, the soccer complex. You got facilities like that. If they build it, they will come.
They will come. And, statistics show that, scholar athletes, those involved in these types of, athletic programs, have a great chance of success and completion, graduation, and transferring to a 4-year program.
Andre James at third base for College of Central Florida. Henderson gets a strike call there. So 3 balls, 2 strikes, and you saw Ricky Presno, he wanted to head on to first base. He thought that was ball 4. 5-0 your score. All Patriots so far. Daytona State trying to hang around and hopefully let the bats wake up. Check swing this time. And this one's out of play.
How do you like that sidewinder action shown by Henderson there? It's an interesting way, right, to approach the plate. Obviously having success with it based on the figures that we mentioned before.
Zach Henderson out of Trinity, Florida. That's northern part of the Tampa Bay area. Forces another foul ball. Mitchell High School represented.
Another lefty.
This one hit hard. Right center field, drifting back, and in control of things out there is Trent Taylor. He makes the catch, and Daytona State is again out of the inning with no damage done. Let's go to the bottom of the fourth. Falcons still looking for some runs. They'll try and do it again here at Daytona State College when we come back. Bottom of the fourth inning, Daytona State now back up at the plate. And again, trying to find a way to break Brendan Kudlinski. He has been in command from the start of this game. Jack Nagy, he is the only Falcon who has been a base runner here today.
Yeah, this is the only matchup that has proffered something for Daytona State. Nagy reached second base. That was it on an error. And that's where we've stood ever since as far as Daytona State base runners.
And I will correct that very quickly. Brandon Stone also did walk for Daytona State. So Nagy able to get aboard off of an error to first base that you're still talking about, Ted. Chandler Pethel could not get in. Brandon Stone, though, did get on with a walk as well. So two runners aboard for Daytona State here thus far, but no damage done.
Well, you know, I'm getting old. Memories going, obviously.
It is, isn't it? What'd you have for breakfast?
I had Captain Crunch. That's a staple in my house. All right.
Well, you talk about surfing up some fastballs. Brandon Kudlinski, he has been impressive so far. I think this young man's going to find himself playing big-time college baseball and maybe on a major league roster someday.
Oh, yeah. He's looking that good. And, you know, I know I was joking around a little bit about the era, but he has looked flawless from the first inning onward. And, again, it was the only error that was charged with Nagy rounding first to second, being stuck on second.
Justin Rodriguez for Daytona State struck out his last time up.
Justin with some good numbers already this season. Tough to have a lot of good numbers when, you know, your record's right now at 388.
I'm counting so far 7 strikeouts from Kudlinski. What a fastball he has shown. Oh, that one had some bite on it, and it's a strike. 1 ball, 2 strikes now to Justin Rodriguez.
I mean, look at the tool, what he's got in his tool belt. I mean, the curve, the power, the painting of the lines. Yikes. Tough person to face up here.
Rodriguez fights off that pitch to stay alive.
Oh, that's in on the hands. That'll make you give you a sting right there on his right hand, because that's where it almost was located. Luckily, he didn't catch a finger on that one. And you see the power right there. Late swing by Rodriguez. Perhaps looking for the curve, but still, like you said, this guy's got a great horizon to look to for Kudlinski.
If you are Daytona State, just find a way to break the rhythm of Brendan Kudlinski. Just can't do it up to this point. Rodriguez down on strikes.
I believe you said 7 before, now we're up to 8. 8 Ks.
Number 3, KG Parker.
I'm sure if they were at the home team right now at College of Central Florida, you'd see those Ks start to come on over the wall, right? Showing 8 of them.
Parkhurst now the batter. KG Parkhurst also committed for Daytona State College. He's going to Gardner-Webb. Well, they've had a great academic year, making the NCAA tournament. You want to talk about March Madness?
All right, yeah.
Continue to do that.
Wow, that last pitch was called a ball. My goodness. I thought that was right in there. Ump has a better, he has obviously a better vantage point than I.
1 ball, 1 strike. KG Parkhurst playing first base today for Daytona State. And the ball is being delivered with this kind of velocity. You can just tell Falcons hitters just are not seeing it very well. It is in the mitt before they can really react here.
He's just throwing a heat and saying, go ahead, catch up. Let's see what you can do. Come on. He's saying, here's some Hines, catch up. Yeah, he did this, Kudlinski did this a couple of innings ago. Started to overthrow a little bit, get a little wild. Take maybe 10% off and go back to what you were doing.
Good job fighting that one off from Parkhurst. That Gardner-Webb, the Running Bulldogs, made their first NCAA tournament appearance just a couple weeks ago. So 2019, first ever year, the basketball team was able to be part of the field of 68. Oh, my goodness.
Whoa.
How about that heat from Brendan Kudlinski? We are watching big-time, big league stuff today from this young man. 3 strikeouts here in the 4th. Falcons down in order, and we go to the 5th here from Daytona State College. First batter, a hit batter for the Patriots, so he is aboard as we begin the 5th inning. Here, a very live dugout for College of Central Florida as well.
Yeah, pretty live being that they're 5 up already on the Falcons. You can hear him screaming there in the background.
Colton Vincent, the batter that was struck. And now that'll bring up the big cleanup guy, Nolan Machabrota. Perfect day for baseball here. See the conditions. About 70 degrees, partly cloudy skies.
Actually, perfect weather for a pitcher.
Machabrota, big swing that time, 1-2. Nolan had a base hit his first time up. Able to score a run as well. Look at the size on him, 6'4". Again, 215 pounds. Biceps just popping out at you, Ted. Right back to the pitcher. Henderson's going to have to play it. He goes for the force at second, and the play is made. Nicely done as they get Vincent there. So one away with Machabrota on first, and Zach Henderson did a good job. This was not an easy ball to field.
No, good fielding skills, knocking the ball down. I mean, didn't go exactly into his glove right away. Would have helped out with the double play, but this is still good. Good reaction. Takes the lead runner out. Lead runner actually didn't have a good jump after the ball came out off the bat there. And pretty easy to throw him out.
So Miles Colangelo's the hitter. Had a base hit his first time up, then popped out to right field his last time, but he has gone to right field in each of the first times up. This one is hit to center field, and that's where Trent Taylor is roaming. He's got it. There's 2 away.
2 quick outs there for Daytona State to try to capitalize, get back to the batter's box in a hurry.
Carlos Salaveria.
Carlos Salaveria's turn. Center fielder for the Patriots. And talk about opening day, Major League Baseball in the books. Season about a week old. Some great storylines that we've been following over the past week, like Bryce Harper for the Philadelphia Phillies. What a start he has had. The Phillies are now 4-0. He went back to Washington, his old team, last night, got a chorus of boos, and he went yard.
Yeah.
Showed them exactly what they are missing.
I think he went yard in 8th inning.
Little bat flip as well to rub it in just a little bit.
Oh, yeah. That's right. You should have paid me $330 million. Here you go.
How about that? Yeah, talk about the money being tossed around right now between Harper and then, of course, Mike Trout signing another contract with the Anaheim Angels, over $400 million. Incredible.
You know, I'm no actuary, but obviously they feel that that's the price tag they gotta pay to get the fans in the stands.
Salaveria hits it to third. This one is gonna get by and get into left field. So runners on first and second base for College of Central Florida. So Ted, also just makes you want to think. Talked about baseball money, the way it's going around today.
Number 7.
What you could do with over $400 million today. What would you do with something like that? I mean, we could start our own baseball league.
Sure. I think I'd have to make a large donation to Daytona State,
Absolutely.
where I'm a faculty member. First and foremost, of course. I'm sure some of the folks that are listening would probably think that's a good idea to stay employed, but then again, would you want to stay employed with $440 million? I think, certainly charity, as you look at something like that, Drew, making your community better, as so many of the folks here who have been benefactors to not only Daytona State, but our community where we live. We look to those folks. And, that's part of what you're going to do, I think, with 440. And you see a lot of these baseball players making that kind of money, giving back to their communities, even though they might, be residing anew in that particular community as they move around quite a bit.
Popped up. Falcons trying to play this one. First base calling everybody off. Parkhurst makes the grab for Daytona State. So defensively, Daytona State has done well, aside from that first inning when they gave up 4. Again, the Bats got to find a way to get to Kudlinski, if that's possible today. We'll have another crack at it in just a few moments on the Falcons Athletics Network. Welcome back to Daytona State College. Just a great place to be on this Wednesday afternoon. Drew Felios with Ted Sofianos. Falcons at bat once again. Bobby Sparling swinging it for the home side.
And smartly so, leaving Kudlinski in there. He's doing a heck of a job. Why pull him now? He's having a heck of a game. Pitching a shutout thus far.
Now I'm counting 8 strikeouts for this young man, Brendan Kudlinski. I may be off by 1, not 2, but that's what I have here in my scorebook. He's having just a sensational day here in Daytona. Tough play this time, but able to handle the win. Andre James, the second baseman, for the first out.
Good job battling the wind a little bit there. Andre James calling the others off, saying, I got it. Good communication shown there by the Daytona State defense. Or I should say, Central Florida defense.
Brings up Brandon Stone, third baseman for Daytona State. Brandon Stone, sophomore from Port St. Lucie, Fort Pierce Central High School.
And, you know, as we look at that Central Florida defense, they certainly haven't been tested thus far. Been a rough go for the Daytona State Bats. There he is, sophomore, 6'2".
Remember this name, Brendan Kudlinski. He is going to be doing it at the next level. Meanwhile, Brandon Stone once attended Boston College. Transferred back to Daytona State. A lot of times that happens in collegiate athletics. Go to a big-time school, realize not exactly the fit for you, and then get your career back together at the junior college level. Exactly what Brandon is doing. Great place to do that is here at Daytona State with all the opportunity. And how about that fastball? Just unhittable right now from Brendan Kudlinski.
Smoking. Ouch. Yeah, I had a good buddy who went to college up there in Plattsburgh, New York. Pretty tough place in the winter times. They had underground tunnels, I remember, to get to, so you could get some food. But yeah, I had a good buddy, played on the soccer team, and unfortunately had a tough go of it. Went to a community college where he rebranded himself, got a second chance, and then came on back after a couple of semesters of getting his grades back up.
Chandler Pethel standing in for the Falcons. watches one high.
You know, sometimes when you're in a university setting and you're in the dorm rooms and the different clubs and activities, you can get distracted if you don't keep your eye on the ball, no pun intended here, while we're watching Daytona State play Central Florida. You can hear the bench rallying Chandler saying, come on.
Pethel swing and a miss once again, and call it strikeout number 10 for Brendan Kudlinski. Looking like Randy Johnson, Chris Sale,
No runs, no hits, no
and everything in between here in Daytona Beach. What a performance for the College of Central Florida. 5-0 is your score. This game carries on, and we're watching one to remember here this afternoon.
I will. Got it.
Drew Felios, Ted Sofianos here at Daytona State College, and another new pitcher here for the Falcons, Christian Graham. On the hill now for Daytona State. His first pitch is fouled away. Graham is a right-handed pitcher, only a freshman, and 5'11" out of Denellen, Florida. Denellen High School represented. So the third pitcher used by Daytona State today.
That one bit the corner there. You know, just before we went to the intermission there in between, I could have sworn there was a vapor trail left by that Kudlinski pitch. I mean, I know we're bragging on him a bit, but I mean, he's been, like you said before, Drew, just in command.
See what Christian Graham can do. Facing Andre James, his third time up. And James looked like he was possibly struck by a pitch. Yeah, he'll take first base. So not a good start for Christian Graham. Take one more look here. The ball just didn't curve.
Number 3, John Lorenzo.
Just caught him a little bit, looks like on the elbow there. Christian Graham so far this season, 24 innings pitched. 5.47 ERA. Again, not enough pitchers with low ERAs, really.
Ball's hit really hard to left field. Played out there by Schumacher. And it's going to be a double. So John Fiorenza at the bottom of the lineup gets a big swing on that one. Great contact. And now second and third with nobody out. And bad news, Ted. Top of the order coming up with James Nix.
Oh, yeah. It's like all storms coming in at once. This is going to be tough for Daytona State, especially when the bottom of the lineup is now, you're looking at second and third, no outs. Can you sense a storm is coming?
And quickly, great job by the Daytona State coaching staff to go out, have a word with young Christian Graham, settle him down. Of course, this is a 1-2-3 punch here, unlike anything he has ever seen at this level. Only a freshman. Just want to reassure him, hey, let your defense play, make the pitches, do not try and do too much.
Going to let Graham stay. Right now, right-hander to right-handed hitter.
James Nix has been on base every time today. Patriots scoring 4 in the first, 1 in the second. They've been quiet since.
This is kind of a nightmare, okay, because Nick's slugging percentage is .692, almost 7 out of 10 times. So this is really matching up well for Nick's. So the question is, can Graham Nix?
You say that, James Nix, he's hitting leadoff here for College of Central Florida, but just his swing, his look in the box, he looks like a 3-hole hitter, a 5-hole hitter, doesn't he?
Right. So you can imagine the power that they got in their lineup if he's looking at number 1 and there's a base on balls, loaded up the bases with nobody out. A calamity of events for the Daytona State defense, already down 5-0. You wonder now if they'll pull Graham. Catcher's coming out for a quick talk. Here comes the pitching coach. This might be it. Yep, there's the exchange of the baseball. And let's see who they bring in next.
So not the outing Christian Graham was looking for. Just simply not his day, not his matchups. Let's see what kind of an adjustment Daytona State makes now. Looks like they're going to get the call. Number 15, Joey Hecht, the lefty out of Centerville, Ohio. Looks like he's going to have his number called here for the Falcons. Ted, what are the numbers on Joey Hecht?
Joey Hecht, I mean, not too bad. I mean, he's one of the 3 under the, in this pitching staff that have under a 4.0 ERA. He's at 3.96, just under that 4.0 level. 25 innings pitched thus far. I can remember we called a game together about a month ago, Drew, and we watched Joey Hecht. He had good stuff, good placement of the ball. He has a good, solid arm. Loves to throw the breaker, lefty. Hopefully he can be salvation, and they can get away unscathed. But, statistics will tell you that does not look likely. 0 outs, 3 men for the Patriots on base.
Well, always take chances to talk about the programs here at Daytona State, all the great things going on here around campus. Ted, what have you got for us?
Well, did you know, Drew? I mean, we talk about the School of Photography here at Daytona State. It is only one of 6 in the nation as far as School of Photographies go. It's the museum, one of 6 in the nation, dedicated to photography. It's the largest. It's called the Southeast Museum of Photography here. It's the largest in the United States, in the southeastern United States. One of the things that they've also produced is Pulitzer Prize winners and business owners and magazine publishers. They got their start right here at the Southeast Museum of Photography. Been in there myself. My family's been there. Just a gorgeous, gorgeous area to review various artists that will have their works on display.
Great stuff, Ted. Always educating us about Daytona State College. Ricky Presno now stepping in, and a hit batter. Presno, like he could have possibly pulled back that time, instead struck on the elbow. And this is going to bring in a run for the Patriots and make it 6-0.
And we're approaching, Drew, if you could enlighten the fans about the college rule, and, we might be getting to that very quickly with so many runs by a certain inning. Ooh, that looked like it hurt. Funny bone, not funny.
Yes. Colton Vincent now steps in for College of Central Florida.
So if it's 10-0, Drew, after the
sixth inning, Daytona State, of course, will have to bat no matter what. And we're still, let's hope we're a long ways away from that, even though the bases are loaded. And Colton Vincent's at the plate, gets a piece of one, though. This one has got some carry to it, and it is off the wall in left field. They say it's fair. 3 runs are going to score for the College of Central Florida. And how about Colton Vincent, who comes through to make it 9-0. Let's see if this will stand, though, as the ball looked like it was near the foul pole there. And right now we've got some umpires conversing a little bit. Looks like it will stand, and it will be a 3 RBI double for the Patriots.
Nope. Let's see here. I got the replay.
Yes, clearly fair. But I believe because it hit a spot out there and then came back in, only 2 runs can score. So 8-0. Or let's see, they put everybody back on base. I believe that's a foul ball. Saying that's a foul ball. So we play on here, 6-0. Took a moment to sort that out. Pardon us for that, as the right fielder now makes the catch. Justin Rodriguez coming in. Here's the tag, play at the plate, and safe right there is John Fiorenza. So pardon a little confusion there on the last few plays, but a foul ball, last play was called dead, and now a sacrifice fly to right.
Right, but I think you had it right, Drew. As we watch the replay, and obviously we have the luxury of that, I think the umps got it wrong right there. That was a fair ball from what we could see. Good job by the camera crew.
Remember, there is no instant replay here at Daytona State, even though we've got our tremendous camera crew on hand. Umpires just call what they see, and I believe they saw this one incorrectly, as Nolan Machibroda now is the hitter for the Patriots.
And you know, you mentioned as well, Drew, that ball caromed, and it caromed to the inside of the field, which by any means suggests the ball hit the foul pole and it is fair.
Machibroda gets a piece of one. This one's into right. It's going to score a run. So the Patriots continuing to add to their lead. And Machibroda has just been a terror all day at the plate.
Now you're going to end up with runners on first and third. You're looking at 8 runs scored thus far. So they're almost to the mark where they were anyway, despite the umps.
Miles Colangelo steps in now, the designated hitter. He hits this one through the hole into left field. Another run.
Wow.
And it's 9-0 as Ricky Presno comes in. And now it is danger time for the Falcons. And that 10-run rule effect could very much be in play here.
Yeah, this is like Sandlot baseball right now for Central Florida Patriots. They're making it look easy. It is not, folks. And Daytona State pitching is not poor. These guys just, you know, the Central Florida Patriots, they just can get that bat on the ball. They seem to do it with ease. They seem to do it at will, Drew.
Unfortunately, Joey Hecht is going to be done also this afternoon. If you're Daytona State, you can just look down your roster of pitchers, see if Kyle Morrison, freshman from Melbourne, Australia, has what it takes to at least cool off this Patriot lineup.
Yeah, they interestingly have 2 folks from Australia on the Daytona State roster. They have Jordy Barnett, and now you're going to see Kyle Morrison, number 14, the pitcher. Going to get a little practice. Tall young man at 6'3". One of the few that you see that are from afar, overseas, on anyone's roster.
Kyle Morrison.
as I've been calling games with you, Drew, we've seen, as far as the baseball realm, we've seen young men, young ladies from, maybe from Toronto, every once in a while, I guess Australia, but not a lot of other places as you might see, let's say, soccer is a good point of reference, basketball.
Sure.
So a few more throws for Morrison here until we pick it up again in the top of the 6th, 9-0.
Well, the fact that this is our final broadcast of this academic year, as we watch Morrison get loose here, have to talk about the academic year that was here on television. We had a great chance, Ted, to broadcast the NJCAA National Soccer Championships during the fall. What a great experience that was, as well as watching the men's and women's teams have great years. Carlos Salaveria now stepping in for College of Central Florida.
Yeah, and Daytona State done a great job in, adding other sports programs to their roster. In the past, it was, men's baseball, men's and women's basketball, women's golf, been a staple, as well as a juggernaut in the area. Not only the area, nationally speaking, but, the new additions.
This is another tough ball. The placement has just been outstanding for the Patriots. They're putting it where the defense is not for Daytona State. And another run coming in the form of Machabrota. And there you go, 10th spot on the board for College of Central Florida. 10-0 the score. And
I think that's the watermark that you were mentioning before, Drew. If Daytona State does not rally with at least one run in the bottom of the 6th, ladies and gents out there in TV land, we are done. That is the college rule.
Zach West puts this one to the second baseman. Get the sure out right there. That's going to leave runners on the corners now. So a first inning where Daytona State gives up 4, and then they only allowed 1 run over the next 4 innings. Really settled in behind their pitching. Mason Sharp recovering. Also Zach Henderson doing a good job in middle relief, but you've got to be so good pitch after pitch against this lineup for College of Central Florida. I've never seen an offense quite like this.
No, and it just speaks to their, 842 record for the season, almost 700 in the conference, winning percentages. That's scary. It's hard to believe in their last 6 games that they lost to. One loss to Lake Sumter State and the other one to St. John's River. You don't know if they had an off day or Lake Sumter and St. John's were just too darn good those days.
Andre James watches one high and inside. So on third base is Miles Colangelo. And at the plate, Andre James. There's Colangelo, number 6. James swinging the bat at the moment for College of Central Florida. Already up 10-0. And they're adding to it.
Whoa.
And to center field, another run is in. And this machine offensively for the Patriots just shows no signs of slowing down.
No, the offense is just so well oiled. They are a machine. I mean, they're first in the conference in hits with 406. They're third in the conference in runs with 332. And it just continues. They're fourth in home runs with 40. Thus far in the season, they're fourth with runs batted in at 285. You see stats like that, just amazing. Even with defense, they've only hit into 26 double plays, and that's third in the region.
Another ball hit into left field on the ground this time. Coming around is Zach West, and Daytona State just looking to somehow find a way out of this inning. Because not only have we never seen an offense like this, I've never seen hitters, Ted, in the 8 and 9 hole swing the bat like this. I mean, these guys look like they could be 2 and 3 hole hitters on any other team in the conference.
Right. I think any team in the region would want to recruit their 7, 8, and 9 batters. They would take them gladly. Wow, my hat's off to Marty Smith. As far as his recruiting goes, he's done a great job, and I'd be surprised if these are not the, Central Florida is not the front runner as we look at conference playoffs later on in the season.
Now you got to deal with James Nix. All he has done is be on base every single time today.
Yeah, obviously, in this inning, the second time we're seeing Nix. Second time we've seen a lot of players in this inning batting.
They've batted around here for the Patriots. Look at that scoreboard. It says it all. 13 hits for the Patriots. 0 for Daytona State. A no-hitter thrown by Brendan Kudlinski. They'll try likely and finish it off here in the bottom half of this inning. Gorgeous day here at Daytona State. Just not in favor of the Falcons at the moment as Nix puts this one into the outfield. And finally, Nix is retired as Justin Rodriguez comes on to make the catch. Daytona State coming up. They need 3 runs to keep this game alive. 12-0 is your score, and we're back in a moment. $12-0 to score as we resume action here at Daytona State. Brendan Kudlinski goes right back to work, and a pop out forced for the first out. Falcons with their backs against the wall here. A 12-0 hole they find themselves in. And as you saw Ricky Presno come over and make the catch.
The next batter, number 11, Dawson.
And that's going to bring up Dawson Posick, the catcher. So 8-9-1 here in this inning for Daytona State.
And number 14 continues to bring the heat.
Number 14 being Brendan Kudlinski. Double digits in strikeouts here today. He has been so impressive to watch and just unhittable. Coach Tuma is back to us right there. And we talked about with him earlier today the overall quality of play in this NJCAA Region 8 with College of Central Florida atop the standings right now. Daytona State in 6th place. Seminole State 2nd, St. John's River State 3rd. Lake Sumter and Santa Fe 4th and 5th. Just talk to him, though, about the competition overall in this conference. He said, Drew, in all my years here at Daytona State, I've never seen our conference as good as it is right now, as strong as it is right now. So that's saying something. Daytona State has their work cut out for them, not just this year, but in years to come, as Posick gets the base on balls.
Yeah, a bit of a gift there.
Number 4.
Giving a little bit of hope to Daytona State.
Meanwhile, a little bit of indecisiveness here, Ted, is with a 12-0 lead. We know the 10-run rule is in effect. The only question is it after this inning, or do we have to wait possibly until the 7th? Hopefully it's the 7th. That would give the Falcons one more chance to come up with runs. Was this fair or foul? It looks like just foul, as Trent Taylor absolutely demolished that fastball.
Oh, Trent got around on that one rather quick. That's the first time, maybe second, we've seen Kudlinski challenged. Looked like that might have been a breaking ball. Didn't have the heat on it that one of his fastballs did. And Trent was ready for it.
That's the best contact Daytona State has made today on Brendan Kudlinski.
First base with Dawson Posick, the distraction right now.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Taylor again out on strikes. He's had a tough day at the plate.
Throw another K up there. Yikes.
The batter, number 5, Jack Nagy.
Kudlinski right now tossing a no-hitter for College of Central Florida. Jack Nagy trying to break it up.
Tough not to be late on those heaters.
Mark down this day, though, April 3rd, 2019. The day that Brendan Kudlinski came in here and just put on a show. We usually like to praise our home guys, Ted, but sometimes when the opposition has a performance like this, you can't help but tip your cap.
Yeah, I'm a bit in awe. And it'll be interesting now. He's probably thinking shutout the whole way. My stats, this shutout, team win. And, you see him now kind of losing focus of that strike zone. Throwing it way too hard right now. Maybe wanting it just a bit too much.
Jack Nagy, the hitter.
Squeezing that ball a little bit too tight. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was exactly that. You got a little bit of a meeting, right? Colangelo comes out. I'm sorry, not Colangelo. Fiorenza comes out. Has a quick talk. Probably told him, hey, you look like you might be pushing too hard. Tone it down a bit. 3-1 count. You don't want to have 2 base runners here if you're Kudlinski to take care of that shutout.
Big pitch there from Kudlinski. And now 3 balls, 2 strikes with 2 down here in the bottom of the 6th. Brendan Kudlinski.
What's your call here, Drew? Curve or fastball?
I think you got to come with the heat. And he does just that. Challenges Nagy, who fouls it back.
Let's see. Gonna be heater again.
There it is. College of Central Florida gets the strikeout and a 12-0 shutout win preserved. A no-hitter by Brendan Kudlinski. One of the great performances that we have seen here on the broadcast for Daytona State College. What a performance for the Patriots. And a bit of a question whether 12 runs would be good enough to call this a day. Answered by Brendan Kudlinski. 12-0 offense, defense, a reason why this team among the best, not just in the state of Florida, but the best in the nation.
Oh, yeah. And watching him, like you said, I felt like I was in the midst of greatness watching this young man. Going to look forward to, how he progresses. But also this team is going to be something to be reckoned with in Region 8 conference play and playoffs to come, Drew.
Look at that stat line right there. 4 runs in the first, come back with 7 in the 6th. 12 runs on 13 hits. And Daytona State, no answers for College of Central Florida as they go down today by a count of 12-0. Welcome back to our phenomenal studio here on campus at Daytona State. Drew Felios, Ted Sofianos. Daytona State, some bright spots in this game, although the score certainly doesn't show it. You had Mason Sharp, who started slow but was able to recover, Ted. You also had a good middle relief performance by Zach Henderson, keeping College of Central Florida off the board.
Yeah, liked Henderson's stretch. I liked how he pitched, but again, I mean, you're looking at bats. You're trying to go through a buzzsaw of those bats watching Central Florida Patriots. So really my hat's off to their offense. Really didn't get a chance to see too much of their defense because of the great pitching by Kudlinski.
Let's take a look at some of the highlights in this game. Patriots came out swinging a mean bat from the start. Sharp trying to keep the runners close in the early parts of the game, but the Patriots again going to shallow center field. RBI base hit this time. They did it with 2 outs early on. Kind of frustrating. Starting pitcher Mason Sharp. This ball carelessly goes by Daytona State, gets by Posick, allows another run, and then once you give Brendan Kudlinski a lead like this, there's simply no turning back.
Oh, yeah. I mean, and you had to feel confident if you were him, but to rack up that many strikeouts, to have only a few base on balls as he did, that was a replay there, a little bit unlucky for Daytona State as the ball would have hit the batter, but it hit the bat first, and that's why he was thrown out.
Patriots have speed on the base pass as well. James Nix was a terror all day long, called out that time. Daytona State, good force play here. Pitchers had to come off and field as Henderson did right there. Eventually, though, the offense of College of Central Florida just a little bit too much. They come back late and able to get more runs on the board. And from there, Daytona State simply could not get it together. And the final score, 12-0, when it was all said and done. Brendan Kudlinski again, salute to him, and no-hitter for College of Central Florida as he shuts out Daytona State. Well, today's game being brought to you in part by Financial Educators Federal Credit Union, the official credit union of Daytona State College. Hope you enjoyed it. We certainly did, although we'd love to see Daytona State on the winning end next time. For Ted Sofianos and our phenomenal crew here at Daytona State College, I'm Drew Felios. Thanks for watching us on WDSC TV, and we'll see you next time.